Hello. You are the first to join me. Oh, we got two in. Hello, everyone. So, just going to wait for a few more people to join. We've actually got some more. Hello, everyone. This is probably my first actual proper live stream, and it's already not going to plan. I was planning on streaming it from my new camera using my mic so I could wander around a bit easier, but it's it's a little bit more difficult to do that than I had planned. So things not going to plan as per usual. So I'm just going to wait for a little bit longer, see who else is joining, and then we'll just go through some things. And like me to be on time. I know the feeling, mate. I am never on time for anything. In fact, I wasn't on time for this. I said 6:30 and it was like 6:34. So, yeah, standard. So, a few more people join in. Evening Shipwreck. What's going on, Chris? It's Chris at Bikes, Beers and Boost. Top guy. If anyone hasn't already, check out his channel. He does bike stuff just like me. His projects are somewhat better than mine, I would say. Some are, some aren't. You was late, Sam. I was late. You are right. I'm pretty much late for everything. It's kind of my way of doing things. Always late and things never go to plan. So just see who else is joining, and we'll take a little walk around the workshop, see what's going on, see what's still here, see what's on the go at the minute. So, a few of you joined. Right, let's go out into the main workshop. We'll leave the comfort of my desk and we'll go for a bit of a wander. So, as of last Saturday, the buggy is obviously gone. That is a project that I was never really planning on getting rid of. I did always hope I was going to do the buggy, but at the time, it just made sense to get rid of it. I say get the space back. I haven't really got the space back because that transit bumper there is taking up all the space, so it is what it is. I think you need that booster. I think I need that booster too, Chris, but at 2.6 or 2,600 quid, there's money in it, but that's a lot for me to lay out. I got some things I need to sell first, like that shiny beast back there, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. Wibbly wobbly Harley boy. Hey, hello. Thanks for joining me. So what have I got actually going on? The two abandoned bikes that I thought were selling on Monday, the Suzuki and the Honda back there, they have not gone yet, even though I thought I had some serious buyers. They turned out to be not so serious, and they had some transportation issues and things like that. And we're now on, what day is it today? Thursday. Still no buyers have shown up. Apparently there is people coming for them maybe tomorrow, maybe over the weekend. I don't know. But I want them gone because I could do with the space. I want to start doing something with the CBR. I finally got nearly all the parts I need for the FZ back there. Not that you can see it because my head's in the way, but we got some things going on for the FZ. I finally have my ultrasonic cleaner for the FZ so I can do the carbs properly. And it's pretty massive. Let's have a look. That is a big old beast. So, stuck some money into obviously doing some upgrades on my equipment here. And yeah, that is going to, that should take a full rail of carbs all in one go pretty much. I can't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to get them all in there at one time. Join for the Bandit content and sub to watch the journey of all the other bikes. Have a Bandit shop that I'm working on. Nice. I'd like to see that. I've always wanted to see somebody do something a bit crazy with a Bandit, like a chop. That'd be pretty cool. I am toying with the idea of another Bandit project. I saw someone's got they've got all the parts. They've got a frame and engine, spare swing arms, everything. The frame and engine are together and it's running well. And yeah, he doesn't want a lot of money for it either, so maybe. But I'm trying not to buy more projects right now because we're still pretty full up in here, even though I've just got rid of a few. Were you on Clarkson's farm? No, I wish I was on Clarkson's farm. In fact, I just really want to visit Clarkson's farm. I think that would be pretty fun. Might take a trip up there in the Mini. Maybe first road trip in the Mini once it's on the road. I think that'd be quite a nice drive. Where do you work, bro? I'm still an Amazon delivery driver. Even though I got the workshop and I got all the bikes and I do all this stuff, I'm still an Amazon delivery driver. This is a part-time hobby that I'm hoping maybe can go full-time at some point. I paid £200 for mine, was found in a hedge. That's the way forward. I find some of my best deals in hedges. I mean, those abandoned bikes I bought, I mean, probably not the best deal on them, but I have made money on them and I ended up with a CBR. So I think that worked out pretty well. I mean, these bikes, I mean, if you look at that, let's flip the camera. I mean, that was literally living in a hedge, in a field, in a bush, by the sea. I mean, but it worked out pretty well. So don't knock bikes that have been hiding in hedges. We steady. I don't know what you're saying. You got a lot of bikes. I do have a lot of, well, I have a lot of junk bikes. I got a couple of nice ones in here. One particularly back there, but I'm not really saying too much with that yet because I haven't actually finished the video with that bike yet. Perhaps get Amazon Prime to sponsor your meal for Clarkson's farm. That'd be nice. Although I do delivery driving for Amazon, so I'm kind of subcontracted. I don't work specifically for them. And they're quite tight, to be honest. Quite often I'll be at work and they'll have all sorts of promotional stuff going on for the people who actually work in their depot, but us drivers get absolutely nothing. Whose boots are those wellies? Whose coat's that jacket hanging on the floor? That's a Welsh thing, if you don't know. So I'm actually just doing laps here because, like I said, I've never really done a live stream before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I just thought it would be fun to get online, talk to some people who watch the content, and just see, you know, what's going on, see if I can answer some of your questions, give you some updates on projects, you know, tell you anything you really want to know. A couple of you asked me in previous comments on the videos where the BMW went. So obviously the BMW was done. I got it on the road. I got it through an MOT. I actually sold it. And to be honest, I think I sold it too cheap, personally. I know I got it for free, so it makes almost no difference what I sold it for. But I got it. I ended up selling it for £1,000. Hence why I went and bought the new ultrasonic cleaner, a bunch of parts for the other bikes, and some other things just to keep the content going and make life a bit easier here in the workshop. But yeah, I sold the BMW for £1,000, which seems very cheap for a BMW R1100, especially one with a 12-month MOT with 0 advisories on it. So I don't know, but I guess that was the best I could get for it. I did have it for sale for like 6 weeks as well. So yeah, that is gone. It was a BMW R1100 RT. It was a 1999 with 65,000 miles on it. The guy who MOT'd it said it was I should have got about 1,800 quid for it, but realistically offers of anywhere near that price was not materializing. Let's see some of your shinier bikes. Well, I've only really got one shiny bike in here, and that is a Royal Enfield. I don't want to say too much about the Royal Enfield because I've yet to actually do a video on it. It is starting to shine up quite nicely, especially over this side. It's getting there. It's getting there. What does your dad do, mate? Is he a mechanic? No, so my dad, obviously you see him in the background on the channel a lot. He's always here helping me. My dad was a builder or plasterer by trade. He is a qualified electrician as well. He's jack of all trades within the building. But he's had motorbikes since he was a kid. My love of motorbikes definitely came from my dad. So since he's retired and I do this now, or this in my spare time, it's just something I get to do with my dad, or, when he comes up here to help me. The rest of the time I'm on my own. But yeah, something nice that I get to do with my dad, just messing around with bikes, making some extra money. But yeah, he's not a bike mechanic or a mechanic. He's always been a builder. Boost FZ, when seeing that on the road. Ooh, now, good question. So I've got the ultrasonic so I can do the carbs. I've got new spark plugs for the FZ. I've also got a brand new second-hand, or brand new, I don't know, it came from Germany, throttle cable for the FZ. So that will be going on the throttle. That'll all be going on the FZ now in the next week or two. So hopefully then it will be running right. And I can take it for an MOT. And then once it is roadworthy, it is just a case of getting that panel painted, which is over here. Because that is the replacement panel, which obviously does not match the paint for the bike. So I need that to look like that without the big melty hole. So it's just finding someone who can do that, or do that paint on this and make the decals, or paint the decals on. So it's a bit of a challenging one, that. Hi Sam, love the channel, thank you very much. Paul Jennings. Love Enfields. I like old Enfields. I mean, this Royal Enfield in particular is a 2017, so it's a fairly new one. It's done, I'm not going to tell you the mileage, but it's done very, very low mileage. And it's, I mean, the chrome is terrible. I mean, I know they're made in India now, so they are, in my opinion, they're not much better than like these cheap Chinese bikes you get out there, because the chrome is awful on that. Like, I could clean up, well, I can't clean up that Honda, it's too far gone, but I can almost guarantee some of the chrome on that Honda would clean up nicer than some of the chrome on that Enfield. So I'm not hating on Enfields, it's a very nice bike, they're very affordable, not the most comfortable of things, but nice and smooth once it's actually riding. But it's, yeah, the chrome, the quality on them is not, it's not the best. Sorry, just trying to keep up with all your comments here. My dad passed away, 650. Paul, very sorry to hear about your dad passing away. I would suggest get it on the road, mate. You know, when I started this channel, I had absolutely no clue about bikes. I just knew what they were worth and whether I could buy them and sell them at a better price. Now, while I still don't know that much about fixing them, I got a good idea of what they're worth and what they, what they sell for and things like that. So, I mean, there's always somewhere to start. So, if the bike means a lot to you, then just get stuck into it, whether it takes you a couple of months, a year, 2 years, whatever. Just give it a go. You'll be surprised how far you can go with it. Hi Sam, any lead where I can get cylinder head and cylinder block for Kawasaki AFX 400 Quad Sport? eBay? To be perfectly honest, when it comes to parts, eBay is my best friend. There's the annoying thing with bikes is there's not like a Euro car parts. If you buy a car, you need to fix it, you're looking for anything for a car, you just go to Euro car parts, and they pretty much have it unless it's like a really old car. So generally speaking, for bikes, I just go to eBay. It's not always 100%. I mean, just look, when I was doing the Melody the other week, the front brake shoes said it was a kit for a Melody, but it came with a little double pin spring thingy, and it wasn't right. The shoes were right, but the actual spring just wouldn't fit. But then I've ordered another kit, which again is supposed to be for Melody and looks right, and they still don't fit either. So it can be really hit and miss on eBay unless you know exactly what you're looking for and you can match it to the part. It can be quite difficult, but I would imagine something like that you should be able to get on eBay. Probably be secondhand, I would have thought. Buy some dark grey, light grey, and some yellow rattle cans. Do it yourself. I forgot what your earlier comment was. Do what myself? Oh, the Yamaha FZ. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, paint it, doing a bit of paint somewhere someone's not going to see it, like the frame and stuff on the Melody is one thing, but to paint a fairing, I could maybe do it, but I don't know. I mean, that thing is, I had that bike off Ash Rowland, so shout out to Ash. And I want to do it right, so I want that bike to look really nice once it's done, because there's not many of them in the country in those colours. So I would rather it's done right and done properly, so at least when Ash gets his first ride on it, then, you know, it looks the part. I would like a 50cc just to get running, cheap as chips. I have a mechanical mind, but never fixed a bike. So Facebook Marketplace is your best friend, or the auctions. There's so many 50cc bikes on the auctions. I mean, a lot of them are scooters, mopeds. I think they're classed as a 50cc. So get on there, buy them. I mean, I've literally bought some for like, what, 40 quid a piece before now? Even less. I think I paid 25 quid once for a Honda. I did have to drive to London, so it wasn't really worth it, but you can literally pick up some really cheap on the on there. Or if you're not going to get a 50cc, look for a broken pit bike. I learned so much doing the pit bikes, and you know, they're a really easy place to start. You pull it and now doing bikes for parts, or doing bike parts for bikes. No idea who they are, but thanks, Chris. My brother has put a 140cc engine in a road legal 50cc pit bike. It's lethal. I can imagine. I mean, I didn't realize you could get the 50cc pit bikes on the road. I knew you can get them road legal. So I can imagine that's pretty wicked. Because the one I did, it was supposed to be a 125, and I put a 140 in it. And that thing went, even with me on it. I mean, at the time I was about 18 stone, and I'm 6 foot. They're not really designed for me, but you know, they done half shift. Right, take a sit down instead of wandering around aimlessly. I like the grey and black. You see tons of red and white ones. You don't see many of the yellow, grey and black. You don't. When I Google image search that bike, there is only 2 that come up on Google image search. One was imported and went through the auctions and has never been UK registered. And the other one that sold at auction was that bike. So I think I saw one more, which Chris from Bikes, Beers and Boost actually sent me. It was for sale in Scotland as a project. It was the same colour, same everything, same spec. And they wanted like £1,000 for it as a non-runner, which was a bit steep just for a parts bike, in my opinion. So, but those are the only ones I've ever seen in those colours. I've seen loads of the white and the red and the silver, and I think it's silver and red. I'm on the FZ owners pages. So you do see a lot of those, but you don't see many in the grey, silver and yellow. Cool. So there's quite a few of you on. Has all the papers for it. Cool. So anybody got any questions, anything you want to know, any updates on where projects are at? Because I know when I do my weekly video, they are quite random. Like, you might get the Melody one week, the FZ the next week, and then 2 or 3 weeks on the bounce, you'll have something completely random that wasn't here before. I've just bought some junk normally. You know, if anybody wants any updates on anything, or what would you like to see me do next? Because I need to finish the FZ. I need to finish the Melody. The Melody is becoming a headache at this point. I don't know why I offered to do a restoration. I should have just got it running and got it moved on. But I suppose it needed a restoration for me to get the best value in the trade series for it. But I do really want to move the trade series on. So I am going to have to get that Melody finished one way or another. Darren, how are we, Darren? I got a bike that has not started for years. I foolishly started it. Now I need to drain the tank. What's the inside of the tank like? Because a lot of people say use evaporust and stuff, but you can use white vinegar, which is much less harmless. I done it on one of the first ever bike I did on this channel, and the white vinegar inside the tank for like 2 or 3 days, and it took all the rust out. It was absolutely spotless. You can just rinse the tank out then. There is something that you're supposed to put in it afterwards, like a neutralizer of some sort, but apparently you can just do it with loads and loads and loads of water just to rinse it out, and then keep it and obviously dry it out properly to stop it rusting again. But you can then obviously reseal or reline the tank or whatever. Obviously depends how far you want to go with it. Draining a tank, the easiest way to do it, tank off, lean it to one side and, just open the fuel tap then, with obviously the lines disconnected. But if you've got dirty fuel in there and no fuel filter, then you might want to clean the carbs as well, because if you've started it and dragged all that through, it'll probably be in the carbs as well. I mean, you've seen me do that with the FZ. You've seen me do it with just about every bike, because I'm fairly lazy and I always just jump to will it run, not let's take care of it before I find out if it runs. Jimbo out and about. Hello, Jimbo. You need to do a booster. I would love to do a booster. I really would, but they are just a little bit out of my price range a lot of the time. I mean, I'd really like to have a Harley on this channel, like even a cheap one, just to get, just to get me started. Like, I love cruiser bikes. Like, sports bikes are amazing. I appreciate them, all the work and the engineering that goes into them, and they are immensely fast. But like, I'm a big guy. I like cruisers. Give me a street bob or like a drag star, just something big, something loud, something shouty. My first time here, subscribe, mate. Thank you, Paul. Cheers. Welcome to the channel. This is my first live. This is not something I do particularly regularly. I'm normally in here with spanners in hands or cleaning something or trying to make some money through bikes in one way or another. What sells better, mopeds or big bikes? Now, that depends on where you live. So, you'll see Bike Spears and Boost commenting on this quite a lot so far on this live stream. So, me and Chris have this kind of conversation all the time. I live in Swansea, which is a city. I wouldn't say it's a particularly big city, but it's a city. So, I could if I got a run-in, ride-in, work-in 125 that's legal on the road, or 50cc moped, scooter, bike, whatever, I can put that on Facebook and that will sell. If I have it more than 3 days, then it's taken a long time to sell. Whereas a big bike like the BMW I just sold, that took me over 6 weeks to sell. The Honda VFR I did a few weeks ago, again, 3 or 4 weeks that took me to sell. And those were really reasonably priced bikes with long MOTs and things like that. Whereas 125s, they just, like where I live, you get a lot of like delivery drivers. You've got Deliveroo, you've got Uber Eats. You've got all of those drivers using 125s and mopeds. So they sell really, really quick. Whereas Chris, a Bike Spears and Boosters in Northern Scotland, he seems to shift bigger bikes easier than he does smaller bikes, because it all depends on the people that are, living around the area and what your price is at and, how easily they can get to you, I guess. So there is no easy answer to that question. How are you getting on with selling the job lot of bikes? So, obviously I sold the Gilera. That went within a couple of days. I got 130 quid back for that. The last video I just did, I showed me doing a trade for the buggy and on the Yamaha with the seized engine. So I got the CBR. The GS, I'm giving that one away. He should be having that next week once he's done moving house. And the other two are, well, I say they're pending collection. People keep saying they're going to show up for them. I drive all the way down here to the unit, and lo and behold, they don't show up. So those have not actually gone anywhere as of yet. But hopefully they're gone soon. But I'll get on. People are offering me 100 quid a bike, which is fine. I'll take that because it puts me in profit by 80 quid overall. And then I've given one of the bikes away and I've used one of them as a trade to get a CBR, which I've got to be honest, that CBR, if I get that running and on the road, which I don't think will take too much, I'll get 12 to 1500 quid for it. So that is, that's a no-brainer. Whereas, I mean, if I sold it now, I'd get 500-600 quid for it as it stands. So, yeah, not bad. I was going to ask you what you thought of Harley-Davidson. Now, I love Harley-Davidson. I don't know whether... I mean, I've always liked them. I've always thought they were quite cool. They are. If you like cruisers, they're just pretty cool. But when I met my missus 9 years ago, she introduced me to her father, my father-in-law. Well, it's not really my father-in-law because I'm not married, but we basically are married. He is obsessed with Harley-Davidsons. Like, he's down to one now. He did have two or three at one point, but he is obsessed with Harley-Davidsons, and he always talks to me about Harley-Davidson, and so I just really like him. So I don't know whether it's his fault or whether I really liked him before that, but I just wasn't around him that much. I just really like Harleys. Are they the best bike out there? No. The build quality on them over the years has gotten worse and worse, but I mean, as far as I know anyway, I've not got much hands-on experience, but they are really cool. And I do really like them. What's going on with the buggy, Sam? I don't know if you saw the video last week, but the buggy is gone. I used that in a trade to get the Honda CBR that I've got out there. So the buggy is gone. I didn't want to get rid of the buggy. I really did want to keep the buggy until I could do it, but it's just a money pit. It was going to be a lot of work. There wasn't that much interest in it from people from what I could see. And yeah, it was just going to be a money pit. And I got so many other projects going on, and it just made sense to trade it out and get the CBR, because even if I decide I'm not going to do anything with the CBR, there's more money in the CBR than what there would have been in the buggy and the Yamaha that I traded for it. I'm in Norfolk. 70% of people are at retirement age. So if they're at retirement age, your best bet would probably be, if your retirement age, you're like 65, 70, so they're going to be retired, they're going to have probably paid off their homes and things like that. A lot of them would be more willing to buy like a classic bike, in my opinion. It's going to be the things when they were like 18, 19 that they wanted, but they couldn't get then, that they might be able to buy now, because at retirement age, you supposedly got more disposable income and things. I don't know, the politics and all that. But that kind of stuff, I mean, if you look back, or look at bikes now, like, for example, RDs, they are skyrocketing in value, or have over the last few years, because the people now that have the money or disposable income to buy classic bikes, they want the stuff they couldn't have then, if that makes sense. Or that's the way I see it anyway. Hello, Sam. Hello, Strange Cake. Buggy's gone. Wibbly Wobbly Hollywood. Good man. I've got a 1200 Sport Stuff, 1450 Twin Cam Heritage, Bandit Chop, and just bought a GSX 1250. Heritage is for sale. Is it cheap? that is where we define whether I can buy it or not. Is it cheap? Kyle. Yeah. American Harleys were made better back in the day. Japanese bikes, I think, are the most. Japanese bikes generally tend to be the most reliable. They rust like any other bike. It's all metal. It doesn't matter what bikes you buy. They rust. If they're not looked after properly, they will rust. I mean, for example, that Enfield has been garaged for 7 or 8 years, dry stored, and it's still rusted, like, badly. But then they're cheaply made. So, all bikes rust. It's just the way they are. But yeah, generally Japanese tends to be the most reliable. There are some unreliable Japanese ones out there from what I've read. Can't name one off the top of my head, but they're generally all pretty reliable. The paint and finish on newer Harleys sucks. Yeah, some of it does. I've bought job lots of Harley parts in the past, and some of these parts have come straight off showroom bikes for like upgraded parts and things, and yeah, the quality on them has not been that good, to be perfectly honest. That could just be the way they've stored them and things, but I don't know. But they look nice when they're in the showroom or when someone's riding past you on one, but you get up close and you start looking around and they're not all as nice as what they look. But I still like them. Old boys looking for mid-90s bikes is the way to go. True, that is, but mid-90s bikes at the minute seem to be like the bottom end of the market. There's very few, from what I've seen, mid-90s bikes that are worth really strong money. Same as like early 2000 bikes. They're just dropping right through the floor. But yeah, there are people out there looking for that sort of thing. If you've got a bike that's like, grand 1500, they generally sell quite easily. I've not had a big problem getting rid of anything that I've bought so far. And quite frankly, I'm yet to lose on a bike. I've lost on a couple of cars. Cars tend to beat me up financially, but bikes, no, I haven't lost on a bike yet. But again, it is hit and miss. Depends how much money you want to make, how much time you want to put into it and things like that. Yeah, sounds right. See some nice old cars being driven in the summer. Yeah, I like old cars then. A lot of people will only drive the old cars in the summer because, you've got less rain, less salt on the road and things like that. So, yeah, they'll all bring them out to enjoy the weather. Manchester United or Liverpool. I do not follow football, but when I grew up in my house, my dad was a Liverpool fan, my brothers were a Liverpool fan, and I was a Manchester United fan. Don't know why, just was. don't follow football anymore. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what division the Swans are in these days, and that's my home team. I am a rugby boy. I'm Welsh. I'm a rugby boy. Hey, I have a Baja RS200. Just look in Google. I will check that out later. I'm on a live stream right now, so cannot Google. Or I could Google, but that would be distracting. Get a pre-2003 Sportster. If you go the Harley route, better electrics and paint. Oh, he's Welsh. He won't do football. He do rugby. Correct. Do you watch Two Vintage? He's amazing with bikes. Good for knowledge. I do watch a little bit of Two Vintage, but lately, because I've been so busy trying to manage my own YouTube channel, plus obviously I'm still working mostly full time. I've got kids, I've got the missus, and I'm generally quite chaotic. I don't spend that much time watching YouTube, or not as much as I used to. So I haven't watched a lot of Two Vintage. I mean, I watch, obviously, Matt Armstrong religiously because I'm still into my cars at the end of the day. I do bikes mostly, but I still absolutely love cars, hence me buying the Mini. But yeah, I do watch a lot of the other boys just for, for knowledge and so that I can learn how to do things better. I mean, I've watched a lot of Bearded Mechanic. So I picked up a few things. There's another guy who does live streams. He's European. He does custom builds. He made a straight six motorcycle and did one with a plain engine. Yeah, that's a little above what I'm capable of. I would like to try some sort of custom build at some point, but realistically for me at the moment, where the channel's at, if I have to spend money, I've got to be able to make that money back. Like I'd love to just do an all-out custom build of something ridiculous, like, I don't know, put a Harley engine in a Mini Cooper, like an original Mini Cooper. Like that would be my dream build, something stupid, because everyone does a Hayabusa engine. Put a Harley engine in, I think that'd be really cool. But like, you're talking thousands of pounds, skills that I don't really have right now. I could learn to do it, I guess, but would I make any of that money back? I don't really know. I don't have it to spend, I guess. Maybe once I've flipped loads and loads of motorbikes and I got some money to burn, I will do something crazy. I mean, I'd love to see, I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do it, but I mean, everybody does bike engine cars, but not many people do car engine bikes. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if somebody could do like, I don't know, a 2JZ chopper, something like that? I mean, that would be insane. Like a Toyota Supra engine in a custom cruiser. That'd be pretty cool. Get up to Liverpool, Tottenham better. We're talking football. You may as well be talking Spanish. I haven't got a clue what you're on about. Someone tagged themselves. Kids, how old are you? So I'm actually 31. I got two kids. But I got a boy who's 6 and I got a daughter who is about to turn 4. So yeah. Hair bent. Okay, thanks. He built one with the Dodge Viper motor. He's also won tons of awards. He does, yeah. So yeah, he's he's a bit outside of what I know how to do. I've seen. I mean, was it him who did the one with the Dodge Viper, or was that like an official thing that they did? Was it the Dodge Tomahawk? I think it was called, where they literally build a bike around the Dodge Viper engine. Ridiculous looking thing, but I mean that's cool. V8 motorbike. Wild. I think your channel is a good place. I like the wheeler dealer style. It's not just builds. Some of the other channels, every episode is different. I mean, I do try and keep it different. I get really, really bored if I do the same thing over and over and over and over. And I get really frustrated when I like run into a problem and I got to wait days on end to fix it. Like if I'm sitting around waiting for parts, it means I'm probably on Facebook Marketplace looking for something else to buy. So yeah, that's generally why I do. I mean, I grew up watching wheeler dealers. Mike Brewer is a huge inspiration to me, so I like to kind of keep a bit of that in there. It's my kind of thing. I don't think you can put a car engine on a bike. That sounds impossible. I mean, they've done it with a Dodge Viper engine, which is a massive engine. So, I mean, I don't think I could do it personally. That's a bit outside of my skill set. I mean, my skill set goes as far as delivery driving, maybe. So yeah, but a 2JZ engine, I mean, it might fit in like a Triumph Rocket 3 frame. I mean, it's what, a 2.3 engine in a Triumph Rocket 3. I don't know. I don't know how big a 2JZ engine is. But you could build a custom frame around it. It would just be a really, really big bike. I put a car engine on my bike. What are you talking about? Okay, maybe you did. I mean, it's been done. People can do it. You know, I don't know. You know, there's not many people who've done it. Most people do bike engine cars. Everyone does a Hayabusa engine in a tuk-tuk, or that's not really a car, or like a Hayabusa engine in a smart car, and all sorts of different things. But it's not very often you see it the other way around. That's what I was saying. Bruh, Hulk Hogan passed away. Did he? I mean, I'm still reeling from Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, like, R.I.P. Ozzy. That, you know, what a legend. I didn't realize Hulk Hogan passed away. Is that true? I mean, I'd have to Google that. There's two of them. Dodge built one. That was the Dodge Tomahawk, but then he built his own one in his own garage. Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I literally will have to check that out because that is, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, Boss Horse Bike is huge. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that when I'm done later. Grow your beard and let's tie ours together and beard fight 2 strips off first as beard king and donate it. I cannot grow my beard much more than this. Men in my family do not grow very good beards. It's just something we don't really do. I mean, if you get underneath mine, you can see it's quite patchy. So this is about as good as it gets. So you'll probably win that beard fight. The Dodge Viper's a V10. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was a V8. I just assumed American V8. But yeah, all right, it's a V10. Hi, Sam from Suffolk. Hello, Freddy Forever. Imagine if it was a V14. Is a V14 even a thing? I mean, I don't know. I never heard of a V14. Would you collab with another YouTuber with the same interest in bikes? I definitely would. I've collabed with Ash Rowlands twice now. I talk to him regularly. We meet occasionally. We meet up if I'm in Cardiff. But yeah, I mean, any other bikers out there, I'm happy to do collabs. If anyone wants to come here and do a collab with me, I mean, I got the workshop, I got the space. Come here and do something. Just drop me a message. I mean, we keep trying to arrange to do something with Bikes, Beers and Boost, Chris. But he lives up in Scotland, so there's a bit of a distance barrier there. But I will meet up with him eventually, and we will get something done. Alan Milliard. You'll have to Google them and look at his builds. He does amazing. I know that name, so I probably have seen some of his stuff. Imagine a bike with a tractor diesel engine. See, I've been looking at diesel motorbikes. I wanted to do a thing where I bought a diesel motorbike just to see what it was like. There are very few out there. There are some, but there's not many. And trying to find one for sale is, yeah, it's quite difficult. Or trying to find a cheap one for sale is difficult anyway, because, as you know, I'm always scraping the bottom of the barrel for my projects. Put the engine in a sidecar. I mean, that could work. I mean, funnily enough, when I took the BMW for an MOT, there was a guy there in a wheelchair, and he had a Triumph Rocket 3 with a sidecar, and all the controls had been fitted from the bike to the sidecar. So he would roll into the sidecar in his wheelchair, and he'd be able to control I guess it was a trike or bike and sidecar, I guess, but it was a Triumph Rocket 3. Like, it was crazy. It was a really, really well done machine as well. And it was really cool. Only asking as I'm looking for someone to collab with. Well, if you want to do something, then reach out to my Sam's Auto Assortium on Facebook. That's the easiest way to message me, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, I got all sorts of stuff going on. You can work on a project here. We can buy something. We can do a challenge. You know, can you flip something for more money than I can? That'd be quite cool because, you know, I like my wheeler dealer style stuff. Albania, there's tons of motorcycles with automobile engines. And production motorcycles have Chevy 350s and that. Cool. Do it, please. It'll be a crazy video. Imagine a bike. I mean, that would be cool, but it'd be really expensive, and I don't really have the money to do anything like that right now, and I don't really know how to. So that would take, yeah. When it's taking me long enough to restore melody, so I think that's a little bit out of my grasp right now. Something I am going to redo though, is some of you may have wondered, if you are familiar with the channel, what the blue BMX thing is doing in here. That one back there. I bought another engine kit because obviously the last bike I did it on was a bit crap. The overall, it worked. I mean, it worked out well. And I got rid of it because I did an auto jumble that weekend to get rid of some stuff. But this time I bought a 100cc kit, and lots of people wanted to see me not just build it but modify it. So I bought like a racing carb for it. And yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of other modifications to it. Yeah, the Temu bike, that's the one. I bought the engine kit off Temu last time. So I've gone with the supposedly better eBay version, similarly priced. Pretty much the same kit, but with a 100cc engine instead of the tiny little 80cc engine. So I'm going to redo that and then obviously do some modifications to it. No idea what you're typing. So the engine kit I got from Temu, that was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. I bought it Christmas time. I bought it, what did I pay? Like 50 something quid for it, I think. It was, I had like one of them vouchers you get when you've made a few orders, and I had some site credit, and it ended up costing me like 52 quid. It was really good fun. It was an enjoyable build. But Temu don't seem to sell that kit anymore, especially if you're here in the UK. If you search engine kit, it won't come up on Temu. I literally copy and pasted my order details into the search, and it doesn't come up anymore. So I don't think they're selling those kits anymore. But yeah, you can't really get those. So I've ordered one off eBay, which actually wasn't that much more expensive. I think it was £99, but they took like 3 weeks to send it out to me when it was supposed to be here in 3 days. And then I got a refund of like 25 quid off it. So for like 70 odd quid, I got a 100cc engine kit with all the parts. So it looks almost identical to what I had before, but instead of a little tiny red engine, it's a black engine. Hunter, can I be honest with you? Feel free. I really enjoy your positivity. Thank you, Freddie. Always try to stay positive. Kind of easier to just get through if you're positive. Although you lot don't really get to see the negativity when I'm getting a bit frustrated with bikes and I'm cussing and throwing things around the workshop. Yeah, you lot don't really get to see that. That doesn't really go on camera. My dad sees it and he says, "Calm down, come on, it's just a bike." Yeah, which is funny because I get my temper from him. I'm sorry if you're watching, Dad. There's one with 133 euros. I'm thinking about buying it, but I will definitely drive rough with it, so I don't think I will handle my riding. I mean, I don't really know. I didn't ride my Temu bike that much. You know, I tested it out, but because they're not really road legal over here, there's not really a lot you can do with them or places you can go, or how much you're limited to how much you can use it. So I pretty much just sold it on the auto jumbo almost straight after doing the video, just to break even and put the money back into something else. But I don't know. It really depends. There's people who like swear by them. I mean, they've probably got older, not so Chinese, reliable kits. But there's all sorts you can do with them to make them faster. I suppose ultimately it's only. I mean, the engine can only take so much, but how much can the frame that you put it on handle? If you've got a decent quality frame on it, I guess that's half the battle. Because if the engine breaks, you can still use the pedal bike. I don't know. You take on the worst bikes, and that encourages others to respect. Sweet. I mean, I do literally buy the worst bike I can find most of the time, but unbelievably, I still manage to make some money on them without really doing that much most of the time. So yeah, it's all about buying at the right price, I guess. But yeah, I do buy a lot of junk. If you use a bike with gears, you can. And a jack shaft, you can use original gears on the bike and it'll do like 80 miles an hour. Maybe. I don't really know. It's all, I guess it just depends on, you know, how fast the engine can go around and drive the back wheel. I'm not really sure. You can, I know with those engines, if you've got a Dremel, you can literally like port the engines. If you put a better carb on them, that's half the battle. You know, there's obviously, everyone said just cut the tip off the exhaust so that it's got, you know, better expelling the exhaust gases. That'll, you know, should make it faster and things. But I never put a speedo on the last one, so I have no idea. But this time I'm going to rig the speedo up, or at least do one on my phone, and then we'll take it for a test run. I'll do the modifications and see if it makes it faster. So the next video with a pedal bike, it will be a better video than the last one. You know, if I'm gonna do it again, I may as well do it better. I'm just gonna ride in the mountains. Cool. Do I have a bike that I ride myself? Not for many years. I don't really get a lot of time for riding, to be perfectly honest. You know, I'm either at work, which means I drive my van all morning, or I'm in the workshop fixing something, and then by the time I go home in the evening and I'm with the missus and the kids and that, I don't really get a lot of time for riding. So I literally just, yeah, it doesn't really happen, which is why I bought the Mini, because I love being out and ride. Well, if I had the time to ride, I would. But yeah, I bought the Mini so I can go out at least in the evening. If I fancy going out for a drive and something quickish, I take the Mini. I'd like to see less Chinese stuff. Restore what we have in the UK. Yeah, British bikes are horrendously expensive. I mean, a lot of these Chinese bikes are already in the UK, so, you know, it's not like I'm importing them. I'm buying what's already here, but, yeah, I'd like to do less Chinesey stuff. To be fair, most of the bikes I've had have been Japanese. Not really that many of them have been Chinese bikes, but I get what you're saying. But, I mean, well, even Royal Enfield is not British anymore. The one I got in there, I mean, that's Indian made, so there's not really... I mean, Triumph is probably... Are they still even an actual British bike brand these days? I don't really know, but, like, I'd love to do an old BSA, but chances are it'll have to be a full restoration. And, I mean, we see how well that's working out on the Melody, so... I mean, I'll probably get better at it as I go along, but yeah, I would love to do some more British bikes. I have not had a Triumph or a proper British bike on the channel yet, so that would be interesting. It's purely made of Chinese, yeah, I guess it'll last a year. I mean, my mate bought one of those Temu kits, and he did 4 miles on it, and the engine heat seized. So, yeah, you might, if you get a year out of it, that's good going. Ever been to any bike rallies? Not really any rallies. I've been to a few bike shows. Obviously, I've been to the bike museums and things like that, but not really any rallies. I was going to go to the Aberdare Park races last weekend before last, but I had tickets for Stereophonics in Cardiff, so I mean, that took priority. Hi, are you related to the food reviewer Just Dino? I have no idea who that is, so probably not. Why? Do we look similar? Do we talk? Is he Welsh? Not a clue. I've noticed if you do the vertical live streams like this, you will get way more subscribers. Live streams really build people's channel fast. Well, I'm hoping that was one of the purposes of doing a live stream. Plus, I really wanted to get on, see if, you know, some of my normal subs jump on you, and, you know, just gives you a chance to ask me some stuff and give you some updates of what's going on. Even just with a 50cc engine for the pedal bike, if you use a mountain bike and use jack shaft and hook up to the 12-gear system on the mountain bike, they'll do 80 miles an hour. That would be really terrifying, I think. I don't think I would want to do 80 miles an hour on a pedal bike with, you know, some, like, you'd need some good brakes, wouldn't you? I mean, bikes have got hydraulic brakes, but, like, on a pedal bike, they're not really high. They're all, like, cable disc brakes, aren't they? Yeah, that's a bit terrifying. I mean, I'd probably give it a go. I'd probably want to wear lots of protection. Imagine that, losing your life on a pedal bike. I mean, yeah, that wouldn't go down well, would it? 80 on a bicycle is too much. I totally agree. Cheers for your time, fella. Keep up the great work. Thanks. Thank you for your time. Thanks for jumping on the live stream. I didn't know how this was gonna go. I didn't really have much of a plan. I just thought I'd jump on and just chat with you all and see what happens. 640 cc's on a pedal bike. That's a bit much for a pedal bike, isn't it? Although there is someone fairly local to me selling a mobility scooter with a 125 pit bike engine in it. It's got cambered front wheels and go-kart tires on the back, so it's basically on slicks. So I'm quite tempted to see if he's got anything he wants to swap. Yeah, not the CBR. I'd lose. I think I'd lose too much money on that. But I think a pit bike engined mobility scooter would be really, really fun. Bro, imagine a diesel engine on a bicycle. I mean, would that even be a sensible idea? Can you get a diesel engine that small? What's the smallest diesel engine you can get? I mean, probably like a petrol generator engine. I mean, I suppose you could. I have seen one where they hook up like a chainsaw engine, but instead of driving the back wheel of the bike, they put it on like a basket mounting straight to the front wheel. So I mean, I don't see why you couldn't do that with like a diesel generator engine of a front wheel drive diesel pedal bike. That'd be quite cool. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how I could probably work that out. I don't think that would be that difficult. If you search on YouTube, you can see the guy who hooked up his mountain bike like that and see how fast it goes in the stock gear system. That guy is clearly a lunatic. I don't know if I'd ever want to go that fast on a pedal bike. But I mean, that's pretty cool. He obviously knows what he's doing with the gearing and everything to make that work like the way that he did. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Someone did it with a mini bike, but I don't remember the channel's name. There's one channel, they put a little rotary engine on a mini bike, and that was really fast. Did a mini turbo with it. I mean, that would be quick. Like, rotary engines are, I mean, they're not very reliable, but they are, yeah, they're pretty powerful. You know, you get, what is it, twice the, I don't know. It's like a 1.3 is the power of a 1.6 or whatever, something like that, because of the way they work. I don't really know. I don't really know a lot about rotary engines. I can imagine that'd be pretty cool, though. Turbo on Temu engine. See, I thought about this. I was trying to see what the cheapest turbo I could buy. I wanted to do a turbo pit bike. Now, I know I've seen a couple of channels of people doing it. There's one maybe decent video on how to do it. I think you got to get like a snowmobile engine because they're not really designed for anything less than like 400cc. There's a pit bike engine, you know, was about 140cc. I mean, I think that would be really cool. You got to do a bit of custom welding, which is fine because one of the lads who's actually in the unit with me is a welder. We've now got a welder here in the unit. I have no idea how to use it, but yeah, I mean, but whether or not I mean, it seems to have worked on the pit bikes, but I don't know whether you can get get it to produce the right kind of boost on such a small engine. I don't know how much of a difference that would make, but it'd be pretty cool to try and do. Rotary engines are very powerful because this for the size, but they are not very reliable. No, they're not. I mean, what is it? The Mazda, is it the RX-8? They were like, you know, when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old or whatever, they just come out. And by the time I was about 14, people were like, oh, they're really good cars, but like you got to rebuild the engine after like 40, 50,000 miles. And yeah, that's by the time I was old enough to drive, you could buy one of them for like 600 quid because all the engines were pretty much blown and nobody wanted to pay to have them rebuilt. But now they have gone up massively in value again. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. They shoot flames out the exhaust from factory. Do you know Mr. Dion? I do not. I mean, is that another YouTuber? Maybe? I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that many other YouTubers. Only the ones that are like kind of I speak to and things like that. If you're doing bikes, I may have heard of you. You know, I don't watch a lot of YouTube if I'm perfectly... I don't watch as much these days. Content Fusion. Hello. So are many of you on here like regular subscribers to my channel, or are you all sort of just finding me through this live stream from India? Hello from India. He's a guy on YouTube. He put a 140 horsepower motor on a lawnmower and it hits 110 on a lawnmower. I mean, that's pretty cool. I've been tempted to do like a lawnmower mini tractor thing. There is the guy in the end unit has got one for sale for like 150 quid. It's like an old Westwood or something. I don't really know what you can do with them. I think it'd be really cool. I don't know why. I just think it would be something fun to do because it's not something I could really make money on. It would just be something to, I don't know, just not restore, but just give a ridiculous paint job to see if I can, I don't know, maybe make it faster. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do with it. It would just be 150 quid plus whatever I spend on it down the drain. But I think that would be, I think it might be quite fun. I was going to try and buy two at one point, and me and Ash Rowland were going to do something. Bit of a competition, who could fix theirs, and then maybe drag race them and stuff, because there's a big long private road here. But yeah, they sold. The cheap ones I was looking at sold, so it never really happened. RX-7's rotary, the RX-8 thing with the rotaries is the apex seals go on them and they burn tons of oil. Yeah, something like that. I don't really know. Again, I don't really know too much about them. It's just what I've heard over the years. Where are you from? I'm from Wales, if you can't tell by my accent. Do you want to buy a 2004 Freelander? 170,000 miles on the clock. Still got four before. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I follow you, Sam. Pretty new subscriber. But we're all learning from day to day with the bikes and stuff. Cool. Thank you for subscribing previously. Glad you're checking in. Freelander, not really something I can deal with. You know, I don't do a lot with cars. I do like Freelanders. They're not known for being the most reliable, so kudos on yours getting to 170,000 miles. I don't really know what I'd do with it unless I can do like a wheeler dealers style flip with it. I don't really know, but I don't. Yeah, it's more of a space and ability to work on it kind of thing. Booster engine and a mobility scooter. See, everybody goes for the booster engine. Yes, it's mega fast, but a booster is like $3,500 these days. So I mean, you might be able to get an engine for less than that, unless, you know, if you're just buying an engine, but otherwise you've got to buy a whole booster, $3,500 just to take the engine out to put in a mobility scooter. Now, as fun as that would be, I don't have $3,500 to throw down the drain, because you're not going to make that money back. No one's going to buy it for that sort of money. You came up while watching shorts videos and I subscribed today. Thank you very much for subscribing then, Kyle. I mean, that would be it. That'd be a death machine. A Hayabusa engine on a mobility scooter. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to keep it on the ground. Like, that thing would just be like, you just throw it, so you're just doing backflips. From Europe, right? I mean, Wales is in Europe. It's in the UK, so I mean, geologically, we're part of Europe as a continent, but we're not in the European Union anymore. So are we Europe? I don't really know. I'm from Wales. Your video helps me to improve my English. Fair enough. I'm glad it helps. I mean, I speak English, but it's Welsh accent, so I don't know if that will help too much to improve, because I mean, some people don't even understand what us Welsh are saying. Apparently we sound like we're singing all the time. I don't know if that's true for my voice. First video I watched was you on the Temu kit, and I subscribed from that. Thank you for subscribing. That Temu bike was a lot of fun. So like I said, I am doing another one of those. It's not an engine kit from Temu. It's from eBay this time. A lot of people wanted to know where I got it. I couldn't send you the Temu link, so I'll be able to put the link for this one in the description for when I do the video. I've got everything here to do it, but I just need to finish a couple of other projects first, because they need to get out of here. Mobility scooter. I would like to do something with a mobility scooter. I think that'd be quite fun. Have you heard about the Royal Enfield bike? I have one here, yes. Yeah. Question, Sam. What do you want from YouTube? Is it fame or it's revenue? I mean, I could do without the fame, to be honest. I mean, I guess that kind of comes part and parcel with it. But me, I mean, ever since I was a child, I've been obsessed with buying and selling things. I've always done anything I can to make a bit of extra money. Money is freedom, really. It's not so much the money, it's more what you can do when you have money. Like, you know, you can help people, you just have the freedom to just wake up and to just go, I'm going to do this today, and just do it. And that's what I like. So, I mean, the fame, I guess, would kind of come with it, you know. Ideally, it wouldn't get too famous, but I suppose to get the good money, you have to get famous, I guess. I don't know. But I would love to be able to do this full time, just, you know, in the workshop, making videos, you know, buying, selling bikes, cars, whatever I want to do, anything with an engine with it. I would do a boat if I could find one at the right price and I had a tow bar to tow it with. But, you know, if it's got an engine on it, I just find it fascinating and I like to give it a go. It's about learning new skills. I've always liked learning practical skills. So, yeah, and if I can make money on it at the same time, then it's even better. Have you seen a CBX 1000 by Honda? It was produced from 1978 till 1982. It sounds like an Indy car. You'll have to Google it and watch a video. I'll have to have a look at that. CBX. I'm sure I saw like a CBX 550 or 600 or something for sale the other day. Did they do a Baldo, one of those? I could be wrong. I don't know. Honda's all, their names are very similar. My Freelander has a tow bar. Don't tempt me now. I mean, I could put one on my van, I guess. I got a 3.5. I mean, Transit's got a 3.5 ton towing capacity. But I mean, if I end up with a boat, then the chances are I'll fix the boat and then I'll be out fishing all the time. And this will end up being a fishing channel instead of motorbikes. Because I mean, fishing is the other love of my life, other than my partner and motorbikes and making money. Fishing fishing is up there. I do a lot of fishing. I'm heavily involved in a lot of fishing. Yeah. If I end up with a boat, that's where this will be. In fact, next month I'm going shark fishing, and I'm in two minds about whether I film the trip, just because I think it would just be quite enjoyable. Yes, there are sharks in the UK, believe it or not, if you go far enough offshore. Hayabusa engine on a boat. I mean, would that work? That'd be pretty cool. I do like your approach, finding your own way through a problem. I used to have a CBX 550. It was a very good bike. Inboard discs was a write-off. There's a right faff to do pads on. Yeah, I'm sure it was a CBX 550 I saw the other day, like a black and red thing. It wasn't too far from you. It was quite interesting because I'd never really seen one before. It was quite a cool looking bike, like it was a late 80s, early 90s bike. Yeah, pretty cool thing. Nice one, Sam. It's nice to get to know you. Thanks. I will try and do these lives more often. It's quite enjoyable, actually. I mean, we've been on here an hour already, and it feels like I've only been doing it for about 5 minutes. So, I mean, I talk a lot of nonsense. I do that anyway. Just kind of fill the space with sound, I guess. But yeah, it's been nice chatting with you all. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd probably be walking around the workshop a bit more, but actually there wasn't that much to talk about in there because everything is broken. So, you down your unit? I am down my unit. I do have an Iron Man poster in my unit because someone was throwing it away over the tip and I thought that would look quite good on the wall. But yes, I am down the unit. The magic happens, or not so magic happens, out in there. That Transit is not mine, by the way. A lot of people have wondered about the Transit. It's not mine. That belongs to the lads that I work here with. It's Ryan, by the way. Oh, hi. Hello, Ryan. The CBX 1000 is a straight 6. I think it's the only inline 6 produced. Interesting. Inline 6 on a bike. Nice. I'll have to have a look at one of them. I think that would sound really nice. I will check out that. I messaged you about the quad the other day. Ah, right, I know the one. Ryan, yeah. You are in Swansea? You did. How are you getting on with the quad, Ryan? And there's another YouTuber named Musty, and he does all engine, boat, cars, lawnmowers. Anything that has, and he has over 500,000 subscribers, and he started off very small. I can imagine if he's, you know, building crazy contraptions like that, then people will want to watch that. And I would love to do more of that. I would love to literally just build random things. In fact, I would prefer to do that than probably buy. I love buying and selling bikes. It's fun. It's a really good buzz when one sells. And you know, you make a bit of money and it's all great, but sometimes there's a lot that you don't see. Like sometimes people ride off and they start ringing you back like, oh my god, this is wrong, that's wrong, and it's, you know, sold as seen kind of thing, you know. It was cheap. But so that's kind of annoying. And obviously you've got to be so careful with bikes, especially if you're selling them. You know, I mean, I try not to bodge anything as best as I can anyway, you know, but if I do something wrong and someone rides off it and has an accident, that's kind of on me then, and I'd prefer to not be doing that. I'd rather just build completely custom random things. But again, it's outside of my field of expertise. Maybe one day I will get there, but right now at this minute, I got to do kind of, you know, baby steps. Yeah, in Swansea, who's going all right, waiting on parts. Nice. I'd like to see that quad done. I've fancied doing a quad on this channel for quite a while, but hit and miss again whether or not they're worth it or not. You know, not everybody has. I mean, quads are either really cheap or really expensive. There's kind of no in between. And not everybody wants to buy a quad because, you know, if you buy a quad for you or your kids or whatever, where can you use it? How do you get it there? You know, if you live 5 miles from your nearest mountain and you haven't got a van or a trailer, how do you get a quad there? You're not going to do 5 miles on the road because you'll probably be done by the police. So yeah, it's difficult with quads, but I would like to do a quad because I've not actually done one yet. Z1300 was an inline 6.2. Did not know that. Can I have a shout out? My lad Finley loves your vlogs. Of course you can. Jason, hello. And your lad Finley, hi. Thanks for watching. I think the transmission is going on the Land Rover. When I set off, sometimes feels like it's breaking at the back end. I couldn't tell you. That I know nothing about. I mean, could be handbrake sticking on. I don't know. Is the clutch slipping? I really don't know. I mean, literally, I know next to nothing about Land Rovers and how they work. Pretty cool things, but yeah, not the most reliable from what I've heard. Just finished building an Aprilia RS50 from a frame. Took me 5 months. Fair play. That's not bad going. I mean, it's taken me 3 months. I'm not even halfway through the melody at this point. You have a quad. I don't have a quad. I'm always looking out for a quad. I'm always getting offered quads, but they've always got to be at the right money. I just don't know. You have a quad, diesel quad. Diesel quad would be quite cool, I guess. Must be like a proper farm quad. Most of them are petrol though, I think. Would a diesel quad be fast? I'm not really sure. They can go away. Someone's actually ringing me. How rude. I'm doing a live stream. Show some love for Hulk Hogan. I mean, you're the second person to mention Hulk Hogan. What's going on there? Big up Hulk Hogan. Leicester single engine. Do you get any rev? So I do make some money from YouTube. This month has been probably my worst month for a long time. I normally make enough on YouTube that I cover my share of the rent on the unit, and I get a little bit of money left over for parts. I'm still a really small YouTube channel. It's not really funding my life yet. It's kind of a hobby that makes a bit of money. It pays for the garage so that I don't have to pay for it out of my own pocket. Obviously, when I sell bikes, I make money, but pretty much everything I make doing YouTube and selling bikes goes back into the YouTube channel. So I don't really benefit all that much from it. It keeps me busy and I enjoy it. That's kind of how much I get from it. Sorry about that. I was just being offered a day off from work tomorrow, so I'll take that. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Cleaning a Royal Enfield. Fun. So do you get much revenue from YouTube? The answer is I don't personally see pretty much any of it. It all goes back into this. I would say on average, maybe, I don't know, 200 to 300 quid a month, which, like I said, pays for my share on the garage and goes towards parts on bikes. So really not that much. You know, it is something. It's a start. I'm really grateful for it. It wouldn't be possible without any of you lot who subscribe to the channel, watch my videos every week. So it is, you know, it is a massive help. So keep doing that, please. But yeah, it all goes back into the channel because ultimately I want to grow the channel. I'm lucky where I'm from. I got a farm by me and I know the owner. That's cool. So yeah, that is lucky for you in terms of a quad, because I wouldn't need, like, when I had the pit bikes, I would have loved to have ride the pit bike properly that you know, the one I built from the ground up. But for me, it's just a case of I don't really know where I can take it, and then going out with a camera and everything to get all the content is logistically, it's a nightmare for me. And then if I'm riding it somewhere I'm not supposed to be and it's on film and someone reports me, I kind of have screwed myself over then. So he doesn't build contraptions or crazy projects. He just repairs all types of engines, and it's just interesting to see how all the different engines work, and usually just cleaning carburetors. Oh, okay. Cool. I mean, I don't know enough about engines to like show how they work and stuff. I mean, I'm okay at cleaning stuff, not carbs. Single carbs I can do, but generally carbs beat me up. So yeah, I mean, I could try and do more stuff like that, but I'm not really the most knowledgeable on the subject to do like a how-to or this is how it works. Nice neck beard. I mean, it's a bit patchy. Too many fish and chips. Thanks. Anyone ever teach you if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it? Oh well. I've never heard of the Z1300 today until today. The revenue, that's not bad. Yes, it's not bad. You know, like I said, it really helps. So yeah, I can't complain too much. At the end of the day, it literally funds the garage. You know, a year ago I was on my driveway, so it's crazy how much things have changed. Especially come the winter, this place will be, I mean, it was last winter, it was an absolute lifesaver for the channel. So again, it'll be an absolute lifesaver come the winter this year. RX-8 engines are pennies now. The engines might be, but you try and buy a cheap RX-8. They, you know, when I was 17, you could buy one for, you know, 500-600 quid. I very much doubt you'll find one for less than $2,000 now for an RX-8. I mean, they're really cool. You should do a Robin. You should do a Robin and bike engine swap it. Now, funnily enough, one of the guys who recently he gave me the mini chopper that started the Trade Up series. I think he's just bought a Robin Reliant trike. So I am quite interested to see if he needs a hand at any point. I mean, he works all sorts of crazy hours, so whether or not we'll have time for me. I mean, he doesn't do YouTube, so I don't know whether I can make a video doing it, but I'd love to go give him a hand with it just so I can get a bit more knowledge on how a trike works, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Trike project. I mean, I do know somebody with a Robin Reliant engine, Robin Reliant with, I can't think what engine's in it now, but it has got some sort of crazy engine in it. That'd be pretty cool. But again, working on cars, so doing like a bike engine in a car, it's a bit outside of what I know how to do and what I can afford to do right now. He finds lots of broken down lawnmowers, weed whackers, snowmobiles, motorbikes. Gets them running. Most of the time, the carbs just need to be cleaned. That's generally the case with a lot of broken stuff. I buy a lot of bikes, and it is, I did originally, and it was just change the carb, done. Change the carb, done. You know, 50cc bikes, the kids' bikes, it's always change the carb, done. Pit bikes, most of the time, well, actually, they're not actually anymore. They all seem to be broken stators and clutches. But originally, they were change the carb and it runs. It seems to be a lot of the way. People, I don't know, something stops running, they go, oh, there's a problem with the carb, and then they don't really want to know. How long have you been on YouTube doing your videos? So I think I started November or October 2023, so about 18 months, something like that, nearly 2 years. But consistently, I would say it's probably been about 12 months. I did a video about this time last year that kind of blew up significantly more than what I was used to. I think it's done like 115,000 views. I got a lot of subscribers for it. I got monetized, and it just kept going from there. Because what am I, like 6,000 and something subscribers in, I'm up over 6,000 subscribers in 12 months. So it's growing steadily. But it's generally, just over a year has been sort of consistent. I got the quad running, but will not stay running. So looking at the carb tomorrow. Fair enough. If it won't stay running, then it's probably either just not getting enough fuel or not the right fuel or air mixture. I think if it's not staying running, I don't know. It probably just needs tweaking with the screws and that if it starts. Possibly anyway. But looks like tomorrow I will be literally cleaning the Royal Enfield in there, which has got a lot to do. The wheels are not heavily corroded, but the chrome on them is terrible. Yeah, all the timing, I guess. That could be out. But hi from Australia. It's 0 degrees Celsius here. 0 degrees in Australia? What are you, on top of a mountain? I didn't realise. I suppose it's our summer, so it's your winter. But I didn't realise Australia got that cold. That's rough. I don't like 0 degrees. I've worked in 0 degrees. I'm doing delivery driving over Christmas, and like 6 in the morning, it's like -2. That is not fun. I much prefer being here. Although it does get very cold in this workshop in the winter. Yeah, it's winter in Australia. Yeah, you're literally the opposite to us. It is summer here in the UK, and it was 24 degrees today, which was warm. Or in Wales, it was 24 degrees anyway. So. Not all of Wales though. I went to Aberystwyth today and it was like 18 degrees. So nowhere near as warm as Swansea. What do you deliver, Sam? I deliver parcels for Amazon. I do their morning shift. So I start at like 6 a.m. Do their early morning same day deliveries and finish, and then usually come here to the workshop. So yeah, 2 jobs, I guess. Or 1 job and a paid hobby. So... got to get the work done. Got to pay the bills so that the hobby can pay for itself. 024. In my country at 4 o'clock, it was about 37 degrees. If it was 37 degrees over here, I think we would all die. Because, I don't know, UK heat is just different. If it goes above 25 here, people start panicking. That's not that cold. It's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's swimming weather where I live. You're talking Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that is. We use Celsius here. I mean, Fahrenheit is like made up numbers, isn't it? You get to like 109 Fahrenheit and it's like, I don't know what that is, like 20, 30 degrees. Not a clue. Yesterday was 39. What's my ultimate goal in life would probably be, I think it would more, I don't really know. I got a lot of goals in life. But it's more sort of financial freedom, not after probably, and I guess just to do it for myself, I guess. I don't want to have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go deliver parcels. I would like to just be able to wake up at 9 a.m. or 10, do the school run with the kids at 9 o'clock, come to the garage, work a day here, making my videos, flipping bikes, and then, bugger off home to pick my kids up after the school run. I mean, I guess that would be the short-term goal for the next however long until my kids finish school. So, and then after that, who knows? Financial independence would be the goal. I'm in Massachusetts in the United States, and it gets -40 Fahrenheit. Again, I don't know what Fahrenheit is. What's that? What's that in Celsius? That sounds cold. -40. I mean, I don't think the UK's ever been anywhere near that, so we don't know. We obviously don't know the meaning of cold. Negative 40 is probably minus 10. Oh. Do we get minus 10 in the UK? I actually don't know. Sometimes it feels like minus 10. 32 Fahrenheit, 0 degrees. Oh, that's cold. Or as you said, swimming weather. You won't catch me swimming in that. Mr. Doggy, hello. Hi, how are you? Oh, right, let's go on another walk around the workshop. See what is what. So, like I said, that bike there will be another sort of engine pedal bike. This Transit here is not mine. The boys are started doing some welding on it and then they realized it is completely rotten. I'm good. How are you? I'm very good. Thank you, Mr. Doggy. Obviously, the Melody is back there, kind of half restored. The engine is going to be going back in it soon and then a bunch of work to do on the plastics. But I'm having an issue with the front brake shoes. I just can't. I can get the shoes in, but the retaining spring for them just doesn't seem to be the right one. Apparently you've got to brute force it in, but it just seems too small to actually stretch it to go in. FZ, but there. And we'll get that running at some point in the next couple of weeks. This rotten old Honda is going. CBR will feature very soon. Apparently that thing runs. I have no idea because I did a trade for it and I just got it in and then left for the day. So I'm going to see if it runs at some point and then just get it all together and see if we can get that back on the road. Old Suzuki over there is, I think that's going tomorrow. Somebody might be coming to pick that up tomorrow. And then the Royal Enfield back there, there's a fair bit of cleaning work to do on that, but it runs, it rides great. It needs to go for an MOT so that it's road legal, but yeah, that should be done pretty soon. And then I'll probably be on the hunt for more projects because, I mean, other than the Melody, the FZ and the CBR, there's not really much in the way of like projects to do. Of course, I got the Mini, which the Mini should be on the road very soon as well. But that's just going to be more enjoyable for me. I like your hair. It's very cool. Thank you. Not many people can pull this off. Curly and a mullet. Apparently, anyway. Oh. Cool. So that is, I mean, that's just about all that I've got going on. How long have you been playing with bikes, Sam? So, generally speaking, when I started the YouTube channel sort of 18 months ago was the first time I started regularly playing with them. I mean, I've always messed around with bikes a little bit since I was about 17. When I had my first bike, you know, I played around with that one a little bit, didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't have a bike for a few years, got another one, learned a little bit more, then kind of, you know, just worked. So it's only really the last 18 months I've really been playing around with bikes in the way that I do now. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 31. Yeah, so not old, not young. Yeah, I mean, the Mini is a very nice car. The clutch has been done on it now, so it is running and driving again. It's got a new battery on it, so it starts every time. It's not dead when I want to move it. But when the clutch was being done, I found out the subframe was rusty, so I got a new subframe over there that needs to go on it in sometime this week now. And then I can take it for an MOT and I'll have it on the road. And we can start modifying it then. I got a lead on a whole new exhaust system with a sports cat. So I'm going to probably make it a little bit sportier, a little bit louder, a bit more enjoyable. Gravity exhaust. Hello, Lev. Yes, the gravity exhaust system. I'm going to make the guy a cheeky offer, see if he'll take 200 quid for it. And if he does, I will be banging the gravity exhaust system on it. I can see you commented, Lev. Why are you not in the unit? Why am I here on my own? It's your unit too. He's somebody I share the unit with, by the way. He actually owns the rusty old Transit out there that never moves anywhere. But yeah, the Mini will be having some modifications. I won't be going too crazy with it because ultimately the Mini will need selling at some point. And if I spend too much money modifying it, I won't make any profit on the Mini. But I mean, I don't think I'll lose money on it because I had it cheap. I had the clutch done cheap. So there's still plenty of money to be made on it when I do decide to sell it, which will probably be the end of the summer. I think I'm just going to enjoy it until then. Although the exhaust would be good, although it does sound quite nice. If you give it a bit of a rev, it does pop and bang a bit. So I don't know whether something's already been done to the exhaust or whether it's had a remap or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know what they're supposed to sound like standard, but yeah, it sounds quite nice. If it was in here, I would show you, but if I go outside, I'll probably lose signal. I don't know. I'll probably lose signal outside. But I'll be bringing the Mini back in later because it can't stay outside overnight anyway. So I think that just about wraps things up. It's been a pleasure talking with all of you who've checked in throughout this live. It was my first live, so I've been waffling a bit. Obviously, just the main point of this was to just give regular subscribers a bit of an update. What's going on? What's still here in the unit? What projects I've got rid of. What's still to come, I guess, rather than trying to do an update every week in the video, and just give a chance for some of you to ask me some questions and just have a chat with you all, really. So thank you very much for tuning into the live. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because we've been on here for just coming up to an hour and a half. So thank you all for watching, and thanks to anyone who's subscribed. If you are watching and you're not subscribed, then hit the subscribe button because there is still loads of stuff going on here. So thank you very much. Bye.